or?
A good-sized man, or something that looks like a man.
Okay. You've had problems in the neighborhood before?
Yeah, my dog was killed here just recently. I don't know what it was.
Welcome to Sasquatch Hypotheses.
Jesus Christ, you better...
Sir?
Zia!
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
Son of a bitch is about 6'9".
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh. Is he in your yard, sir?
Yeah, God, he's big.
Okay, what's he doing in your yard?
He's looking at me.
And the guy is on foot.
I don't know what... It's a big, real big person.
But it is a person.
Yeah, I'd say it was a person, somebody really big. But he's all in black.
Is he a black male or a white male? Did you actually see whether, or was he just wearing black?
He's all black and he's big. He is big.
Evening, folks. Tonight I've got a show where Dee Dee is narrating an encounter by one of our Discord members and our panel members, Ralph. Goes by Old Bear. And this has been done up. He did the interview live. It's under 8-foot Sasquatch, something Hunter. You can look it up. It's, I don't know, a couple of months ago or something. But this is Dee Dee's take on Ralph's encounter.
Hi everyone, this is Dee Dee sharing another encounter with you. This encounter happened to one of our own. Ralph, or Old Bear, is a respected panel member and a dear friend of our channels. Old Bear, this one's for you, and it goes like this. This experience happened in November of 1984. I was 16 at the time and was with my dad deer hunting in a place we've been many times. I was allowed by my dad to go hunting by myself, as it was my first year of having my own license to hunt. I had always hunted near my dad before, but this time I asked to hunt in a separate area than Dad. There were no other hunters that we'd seen, so Dad agreed to let me go by myself. I walked back out of the ridge about a mile to an area I'd been to many times. I came to the area near some big boulders and sat down on the edge of a flat on the side of a hill. I was sitting there and noticed that there were no normal sounds of the woods going on. I thought it was kind of strange, but decided to continue hunting for a buck deer. I'd been there about 30 minutes and heard some deer running in the leaves off to my left. 3 does came up from behind the boulders to my left, and they stopped. I could see them breathing hard and figured a buck was running them through the woods. I brought my 30-30 rifle up and got ready to shoot the buck if he came out. The does just took off again, and I could hear something in the leaves heading my way. About 5 or 10 minutes passed, and I caught movement off to the left at the top of the boulders. I thought it was a squirrel, but I could hear grunting coming from that direction. I thought it was a buck deer coming, and I got ready to make a shot on a walking deer. I was thinking how lucky I was to get a buck, and it being my first time hunting without my dad, and how proud he was going to be with me. I was watching intently towards the boulders to get a glimpse of the buck, but noticed the thing I thought was a squirrel on top of the boulder. It was moving along the top, and it disappeared. I could hear the leaves crunching behind the boulder from what I thought was the buck deer. Everything was quiet in the woods except for the leaves crunching. The sound stopped, and I returned my head to the stock of my rifle and kept looking for the buck to step out. The crunching began again, and I was looking at the end of the boulder, and out steps this huge Bigfoot. This caused me to take a breath. In a gasping sound. This animal was at least 7.5 feet tall. It was 4 feet wide and looked like a couple of offensive linemen combined from the NFL. The hair was 4 or 5 inches long on its arms and on its body. It was a reddish brown and looked to be matted on its legs. This thing never looked at me right off, but after about 30 seconds, it turned towards me from its waist. The expression on its face was intent looking for the deer when it walked out, but that changed to like it was a surprise when it looked at me. It looked like it was wondering how I got there without it knowing I was there. After about 20 or 30 seconds, it kind of started to change to anger. It seemed like an eternity when this was happening, but it was no more than a couple of minutes. After this Bigfoot's face turned to anger, it bared its teeth and growled at me. I pulled the hammer on my rifle to full cock, and it made a loud click. At the sound of the rifle, the beast took a step towards me, but it suddenly stopped growling. It then retracted its teeth, and its facial expression changed to, "Oh, no, I'm in trouble." I was looking down the barrel across the sights at this thing and made my mind up. If it came at me, I was going to unload the rifle into it. It appeared to look more human than ape, but to me, it was a beast. It was a beast out of my nightmares. This beast turned quickly and ran back the way it came. I sat there a bit and gathered my thoughts while keeping track of where it was. I could hear it running in the leaves for what sounded like 100 or so yards away. It stopped, and I stood up and turned towards the top of the hill. I took a couple of steps and heard it scream, and it turned me cold. I knew I had to get out of there as soon and as fast as I could, and got to the top of the hill and headed towards my dad's Blazer. I hit the gravel road and didn't run, but I did my best impression of a fast walker. I never lowered my rifle, nor did I let the hammer back down. I was taught to never walk with my rifle fully cocked, but I felt if I had to face this thing again, I would need that extra half second to defend myself. I got back near the Blazer and ran into my dad as he was walking out the road. He looked at me and asked what was wrong. I said, "Dad, we need to leave now." He just stared at me and said, "All right." We got to the Blazer, and I got my hunting coat off, and Dad unloaded his rifle as I did. So we got in, and Dad started the Blazer. He asked me again, "What is wrong?" And I told him I didn't want to talk. Dad drove us out of there and never asked me again until we got to the interstate heading home. I started shaking, and Dad said, "Son, what is wrong?" I looked white as a ghost, and Dad said, "Tell me what's going on." I told Dad I'd seen a Bigfoot, like the one we'd watched a year before on TV. He kind of laughed and said, "Son, those are make-believe." I said, "Dad, it isn't make-believe, as I just saw one, and it was only 20 feet from me, and it growled at me." He said, "Tell me what happened," and I told him everything. Dad said, "Son, I believe you, but don't tell your mom or grandma. They will never let you hunt again, or any of us." I said, "I know, but Dad, I never want to go back out there. I never told anyone for the longest time until I met my wife, and I told her. I'm 50 now and have been looking for them off and on for the last 34 years now. I don't know why, but I feel they're a pure evil and will be the death of me, but I got to look for them. It's really weird, I know, but when you know how something gets under your skin and you just have to do it." Well, that's the story. And Old Bear, thank you for sending it in, and it was an honor to read it. If you've had an encounter that you'd like me to read, pull that trigger and shoot me over an email. My email address is mydd123@gmail.com. I'd be happy to read it for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and again, thanks for listening.
Shameless plug at the end. All right, folks. Well, that was Dee Dee's narration of Old Bear's encounter, and you can find the interview of Ralph under, let me actually tell you the exact name here. Hold on. Hunter faces off with an 8-foot Bigfoot. So I'm going to check to see who's in the chat. Let's see. What is that business? Okay. What's going on, John Skinner? Matt Cleaves. Heather, how you doing? Dee Dee, of course. I don't know, gauging gadgets. I almost said ganging gadgets. Maybe that's a different name, right? What else? Say hello if you want me to say hello back. James Smith, how you doing? Australia, cool. Yeah, Dee Dee. Okay, we got more people in here than that, but I guess that's all that wants their name said on the air. Okay, so that's going to be it for tonight, folks. I have to go and make some money. If you want to help the show so I don't have to cut these things short, you can go to patreon.com/sashype, SASHYP, and donate to the show. Every dollar is greatly appreciated. If you have an encounter, then you want to be on the show as an interview, you can hit me at sasquatchhypotheses@gmail.com. And until next time, y'all take it easy. Again, you can see the Patreon link right there. Patreon.com/sashype.